Let me ask you, just given our discussion here about things being extended, but really kind of wanting to have some type of exposure to some of the momentum that we're seeing here. When you look at a stock like Micron, and if you don't want to go exactly with Micron, that's fine. But when you look at a stock like this, how do you set up a trade for something like this?
All right, so Micron, obviously, I mean, just absolutely bonkers. And I've seen some price targets up at 1,600 for this thing. So either this is just a bubble of all bubbles, or pretty close to it, or somebody knows something that we don't. And I'm in no position, and this is the way that I look at it as a trader. I'm in no position to tell the analysts that they're wrong on this. They're going to know a heck of a lot more than me on this. But I can still trade this. You're just going to have to be a little bit more selective. You're looking for meaningful pullbacks, not just because you have it comes down 1% on a day. For something like Micron, we had some really nice resistance up at 800. I'm counting in 3-4 days that we were testing that 800 before it popped back up there. So if we get a pullback, now realizing that's $128 lower than what it is now, but really with something like this is what I was talking about earlier, that you're just chasing around stocks. Well, this is definitely bullish, so I'm going to buy it. And look, It's a little bit cheaper than yesterday. You have to realize that if and when there is some selling pressure, whether it's outside markets affecting our market or something fundamentally in the space, there's got, if I'm long Micron right now, of course I'm loving it. I'm also thinking, really, what were you looking for out of this trade? You got way more out of it than you thought you were going to. How about lighten up on that? And we were seeing that a little bit yesterday, where we were seeing some rotation out of some of these laggard stocks coming back up. And then your things like, NVIDIA and things like that, a small pullback. And so, and that's only prudent. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. And you can always reload.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And just kind of your initial example there about Micron right around 800, it had what felt like a melt up, big type of momentum push. We actually overshot 800 by about 15, 16 bucks. But then we pulled back to the 20. This was a 20% pullback.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about, hey, it's down 1 or 2%, that's probably not the point to buy it. Yeah, the last time we pulled back to the 20-day, it was a 20% move.
Right.
So something to keep in mind here on some of these high flyers.